Ano ai ke aloha ya ko. Thank you for joining us today. In just a few moments, Governor Josh Green and Attorney General Ann Lopez will make a historic announcement relating to the more than decade-long litigation involving pharmaceutical companies. Facilitated media Q&A will follow promptly after remarks conclude. Without further ado, it is my honor to welcome Governor Josh Green.
Aloha. Big day. Today I'm very proud to report to you that after nearly a decade of litigation and through the perseverance of the Office of the Attorney General, thank you, Ann, incredible work. Your team has been amazing. The state has reached a landmark settlement with two multinational pharmaceutical companies, Bristol-Myers Squibb and Sanofi Pharmaceuticals. I also, before I go one step further, want to single out Rick Fried and his firm. A dear friend, a great partner. This settlement does not happen without those two and their teams, simply put. The settlement agreement that requires the two companies to pay the state of Hawaii $700 million. It's the largest settlement that we've ever seen in our state. And let me say this, it's a historic result that we're grateful for, we're gratified by, but we're proud of the work that the Attorney General and her team and our outside counsel have performed. This result will help the people of Hawaii. We intend to spend these dollars in ways that will touch the health and human services component of our government in every way. Needless to say, this is a bumpy present as we anticipate potential cuts in spending to the states, and to have $700 million come to our state in the immediate future to make sure all of our people have their needs met could not come at a better time. So again, I am grateful. I'm somewhat astounded that we have this result, and it's because of the hard work on both sides. This is good for the state of Hawaii. It's good for everyone, but it's particularly good for our people. And without further ado, if I may, I'd like to call up Attorney General Ann Lopez to give you some more specifics.
I, too, am very proud of this settlement. I want to thank a few people in particular. David Louie commenced this lawsuit in 2014 when he was the then Attorney General. He, along with our attorneys, Rick Fried and Pat McTiernan from the Cronin-Fried firm, and Steve Barron and Dan Albertstone from the Barron and Budd firm, have worked on this case continuously over this decade. Without their persistence and their willingness to stay engaged with the state of Hawaii, we wouldn't be where we are today. I also want to thank the deputies in my office who have also persevered. Many of them were there from the beginning of this case through today. So it is an exciting day for all of us. I also want to be clear that while this money is substantial, it is important to me that everyone who does business in the state of Hawaii, whether you're a small shop or a multinational, multi-billion-dollar oil company, knows that the Attorney General's office will be relentless in our pursuit of compliance with our consumer protection laws. That's all I have to say, and I'm going to have Rick Fried come up next.
I took this case to Dave Louie in 2012, and I think as our governor and AG have said, this can do a lot for the people of Hawaii. It's sort of like giving birth, taking this case from birth to where it would now be a teenager. It's been 13 years we've been working on this. 2 trials up to the Supreme Court and back. We were going back again, and we finally were able to work out this resolution. There were, as I said, 2 trials, lots of discovery in between, and the support of our AG, Ann Lopez, and the governor has been incredible. She's the 5th AG that's been in place since this case started, but Diane has been wonderful to work with. I also want to say that without the support of my partner, Pat McTurnan, this result probably would not have been reached. And there are a few loose ends, and so we can give more details when those are finalized, and we will give more details at that time. But for now, this is all we can say with respect to the details of this case. Thank you.
Mahalo. At this time, I would like to welcome the governor back up, and we will commence the media Q&A with Ashley from Hawaii Public Radio.
Hi, Governor. I was wondering, so once these funds come in, what happens next, and when can we expect it?
Is it fair to talk about dates? Okay. Yes. Yeah, we expect to have the full settlement amount come to the state on June 9th. We'll give a couple weeks of leeway in case there's any, delay in the mail, which I doubt very much. We've reached a good faith settlement here with the parties. What happens next is we prepare for what our needs are. A couple of things have happened in recent years, as you know, that really affected us. We came out of COVID, and we wanted to make sure we kept our word to those who worked in dangerous times. That resulted in some hazard payments. We went through the Maui wildfire, which resulted in the state's participation of a massive settlement of many hundreds of millions of dollars. Again, the legislature lived up to that need. All along, I knew that we had the prospect of some support, but you never know until the decisions are finalized. Our administration approaches things in a way that perhaps is different than many others. We really do try to reach some kind of amicable agreement whenever humanly possible, because I place a premium on helping people move forward, no matter who they are, but particularly people in our state. And these monies, I've already spoken to the legislative leadership. Just within the last 2 hours, I was allowed to share some of the details with them, and that meant that the Speaker, the Senate President, the Finance Chair, and the Ways and Means Chair received a call from me so that they knew that these dollars were coming, so that they could begin the process, as we already had planned, to potentially have a special session later in the year in case we have a crater in our Medicaid budget, or we have needs with EBT, food stamps, or if we need to pay for school lunches for our children. All of these things I feel are very connected to our health, and this settlement will help us cover. The legislature also has set aside several $100 million earlier. This certainly helps that fund a great deal. And we have our rainy day funds, which we've not yet had to touch. They have about $1.7 billion in right now. So this positions us very well to weather the storm that is Washington, D.C.
Goes into the carryover balance,
Yes.
and then the allocation will be done, like, do you request, I guess, where that goes, and then the legislature then approves, or how does,
Yeah, in my conversations, I can be very, very direct with you. In my conversations this morning, I shared that we will be completely collaborative with the legislature. We will ask for their advice on where they would like to appropriate these monies. That was already our approach with the leadership. And the mock-up of the congressional budget is happening right now as we speak. I have had the benefit this last week of talking at great length with Dr. Oz, the Medicaid director. I'm going to be doing all I can to keep the lid on to make sure we have an appropriate budget for Medicaid. But the legislative leaders here in our state are now going to have this extra resource to make sure no one suffers or struggles. They may decide to spend more money on housing. They may decide to spend more money directly on health care benefits if those dollars aren't there. We respect the legislature and their part of government, which is to make appropriations. In this case, it comes at a good time because I was about to have to review which bills we might or might not be able to afford, the fully complex budget where, on occasions in the past, I've done line item vetoes for some spending. This gives us a little bit of breathing room to honor the priorities of the legislature and everyone's needs. Okay, so if I may, just one more time, thank Ann our Attorney General and Lopez and her team have been working, morning till night on issues related to the federal government, issues related to this work that they've done with Rick Fried and team. Thank you, guys. It's been extraordinary to see this unfold over the years. I've watched it quite closely, especially as Lieutenant Governor and Governor. And so thank you for not letting this come to yet another governor, Rick, or another series of attorneys general. We appreciate it, and we appreciate you. Everyone, look out for us in October, possibly September, probably October, to address whatever shortfalls may come from the federal government. And this settlement of $700 million is going to go a very long way to help our people. Aloha.